Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Limitless Lifestyle Podcast. As you know, I am your host, Alex Aranivas, and I just wanted to honestly get on here and do a quick podcast. Unfortunately, as you could probably tell, there's no intro to this as we normally have our intro due to the fact that the computer that I normally use to record this podcast is currently out of commission and will probably be a few weeks until we get it kind of fixed up and back and running. But for now, I really just wanted to get a podcast out, especially because it's been maybe a week or 3 weeks since I posted a podcast here on our Limitless Lifestyle podcast, and really just want to get you guys a message out about everything that's been going on. And really what I want to touch subject on is I know a lot of you, obviously we live in the United States, and a lot of you probably tuned in to the Super Bowl this past weekend. And if anyone knows, I am from the Kansas City area, so obviously the Kansas City Chiefs played in the Super Bowl this weekend. They played against the Bucs. And for everyone listening to this now, you obviously know how the result ended. And for you, those of you who don't listen to it, well, now you know. The Chiefs did not end up winning, did not end up repeating the second championship that everyone was very excited about, and the Bucs ended up taking it. Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl ring, which is honestly great. And like I said, I tell a lot of people, I'm kind of glad that I grew up with this is kind of low off subject, but I'm kind of glad I grew up in the culture of soccer. I grew up playing soccer, and I grew up watching a lot more soccer than football. So my appreciation for football is a little different when it comes to team aspects. Yeah, I live in Kansas City, and yeah, I support the Kansas City Chiefs. I won't say I don't. I support every single team that's in the Kansas City area because I'm from here. But I have no designated team that I 100% root for, without a question of doubt. So me sitting down and watching a Chiefs game and a Bucs game was kind of cool because, yeah, if the Chiefs won, I would be very excited. If they lost, I would be like, well, that sucks because it's obviously in the city I live in, but, it's fine. I'll move on. And, if the Bucs win, I like Tom Brady, and I'll explain why I like Tom Brady. And most people are like, oh, my gosh, you're a Tom Brady fan. I am. But there's a lot of reasons why I am a Tom Brady fan. So, the Bucs win, I was like, yeah, it's cool. If they would have lost, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. So that's kind of cool. So I'm kind of excited because I can take kind of the emotion out of both aspects of that and be like, man, I can basically watch any Super Bowl and not necessarily care about 14, but just watch a good football game. I tell people the only team I root for 100%, no doubt, is the Mexican national soccer team, the men's national soccer team, and they disappoint me every 4 years, unfortunately, but I still root for them, and I still 100% of the only team that I'm just like, yeah, I get mad or angry if they don't do something right. And again, they start off good and they just lead to disappointment every 4 years. So, but that is the only one team. But as you guys saw, the Bucs won the Super Bowl this past week, and really what I want to touch on is I know a lot of people keep saying, oh my gosh, Tom Brady, he's won 7 Super Bowls. Isn't he tired of doing what he's doing? And, for me, I'm a big Tom Brady fan for one simple reason. One of the biggest reasons is I am a Tom Brady fan. And maybe this is overused, and maybe a lot of people just get tired of hearing this. But I am just so amazed at what the guy's been able to do at his age and his time in the NFL. I mean, I think he's been in the NFL for 20 plus years, maybe. 43 years old, playing maybe some of the best football he's ever played in his career. And like people say, bottle of wine with age, you get better, it tastes better, it gets, wine gets better with age. I feel like Tom Brady's in a sense gotten better with age. I mean, the past, when he was back in the Patriots, the past 6-7 years, the last 7 years with the Patriots, I mean, I think he went to the Super Bowl maybe 6 out of the 7 times. Don't quote me on this. So if anyone's out there, a sports fan, like, oh my gosh, you messed that up. Yeah, I'm just making a point here. But he made it to consecutive Super Bowls back to back to back. And the more times you get back the chance to win one of those, I mean, the likelihood of you winning one of those again is just going to happen the more times you are able to put yourself in a position to win those. And, Tom Brady, I want to say I respect him so much and I like him so much because of his amazing work ethic and amazing pursuit to his excellence of that, what he does in every single thing that he does. I mean, if you just look at Tom Brady's whole perspective of how he treats himself when it comes to his diet, his lifestyle, his work ethic on the field and off the field, I mean, the guy's insane. And people wonder and ask themselves, why is this guy so good? Why is this guy still playing at 43? Now, you could say there's some tangible benefits of football when it comes to, making sure he's not getting hit a lot, make sure that he's not getting injured consistently year after year. And that could also be a lot to play with his defensive line and the guys covering him and make sure he's not getting hit a lot. I mean, I know that has to factor a lot into what a footballer, especially a quarterback, can go through the years in the NFL. But also, I would have to venture to say, a lot of it also has to do is how he takes care of himself. I mean, the guy is extremely strict when it comes to his diet, his lifestyle, what the time of work and the time and hours he puts into studying his plays and studying his game and making sure that even on the off season, he improves on what he probably did wrong so the next season he can be better. And you've seen that throughout the years. And I want to touch about one central subject. And the reason I think Tom Brady is so successful in everything he does is because he's learned and developed habits, daily habits, that he's been able to do since he got in the NFL in order for him to get and propel him into the years he is now. It's the daily habits he started doing. It's the habits of him saying, you know what? Instead of me on the off season slacking off and maybe going out and maybe messing up my diet, which maybe he does, but I would venture to say for the most part he still stays pretty consistent with it. He said, I'm going to stay consistent with my diet even on the off season and be even more inclined during the season because I know every single decision I make now and every single habit that I develop now when it comes to my career in football will benefit me in the long run as the longer I play. Because everyone knows the longer you play in American football, it's harder to play. Even for quarterbacks, you could say they could be the ones that last, quite a couple of years. But to be 43 and be at his level of playing is just crazy incredible. And like I said, I think it has to do, and I know it has to do, with all the habits that he developed back when he first started in the league. He was one of the most underrated guys in the NFL when he first came up. What was he, the 6th round draft pick, number 100 something in the NFL draft. I mean, ridiculous. The guy, no one expected anything out of him. And that's something that, regardless of how much talent you have, it's been said before, you cannot deny hard work. Hard work plus talent combined together is a whole different ball game. But when someone's not as talented, maybe not as someone's gifted as Tom Brady is, but he puts in the work daily, every single day in order to achieve the goals that he's achieved now, people again wonder why he has every single aspect of his life and why he has every single result and why he keeps playing and why he's been to 10 Super Bowls and won 7 out of 10. That's incredible, unheard of. And I know people have said, a lot about Patrick Mahomes and where he's headed. And I believe Patrick Mahomes has a tremendous amount more natural skills. He's a lot more talented. He's a lot better football player in a lot of aspects than Tom Brady. And he's 25 years old. 25 years old. If Patrick Mahomes can keep all those same habits, the disciplines, the dedication to his art to become better every single year, to become a better football player, to make sure that he influences teammates in that direction, I believe he can have the same results, if not better than Tom Brady, because here's the difference with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is, like I said, completely 100% natural born talent. The kid has it. And even then, I would have to say there's a story out there about him and a lot of people at Texas Tech that didn't believe in him either because maybe he didn't have a good arm, but he continued to work on it. But even then, you look at Patrick Mahomes and he has a lot more talent. He has a lot more speed. I mean, the kid is just so creative in every play he does. I mean, he never gives up. And I believe if he keeps those same habits that have led him this far in the NFL, and if he keeps those same habits as he proves on his careers as 26, 27, 28, 29, he could be, without a doubt, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL ever history. Now, I'm not going to stay here and say that he's going to win 7 rings because he's have one, and in the NFL, you just don't know. You really just don't know. But he has everything to his power to be able to do that, and he has everything in his control to be able to do that. If again he decides to discipline himself and create habits now that will long-term lead him into the success that he will when, again, he's 30, 35, and he gets in his 40s, takes care of himself, takes care of his health, thinks about his lifestyle. Again, a lot of the things what Tom Brady did is he thought long-term. He said, every decision I make today will influence my power to become the guy I'm going to be when I'm 30, 35, 44. And now people see it all. And it goes the same way to every single thing that we do. I think in the long run of things, we take everything so short term. we think about every result that we're going to do, and we're like, oh, well, how will it benefit me tomorrow? And we're so instantly gratification for what we want tomorrow rather than what we want later. And when it comes to the new year and everything that we've been doing, as I talked about at my podcast for the beginning of the year, is every goal that you set up, every aspiration that you have to be able to accomplish this year and what happened in 2020 and what's going to happen with 2021, I really encourage you to take those aspects of what a Tom Brady and a Patrick Mahomes, but especially a Tom Brady in this aspect, is what can you do to help you benefit every single aspect of your habits that will lead you to the success at the end of your 2021. What are you doing today? What habits are you building daily throughout the day? What things are you taking out of your life that no longer benefit you for the long-term results that you want? And how are you making every single habit every single day achievable by making it easy, by making it attractive, by giving yourself cues that allow you to stick to those habits all throughout the year, so that at the end of the year, you can look back and be like, every single thing I put in, I accomplished because I set myself up for success. And if anything I wanted you to take from that Super Bowl is, yes, Tom Brady and his 7 rings is awesome, and the amount of 7 Super Bowls he's won. But if anything, again, the reason I respect him so much is because of the work ethic he puts to every single thing he does, and because of everything he did in the past to set him up for the future. And that's exactly what we need to do as people in order to achieve the goals, desires, the dreams that we have, the purpose that we're looking for, is to make sure we build the current habits right now, today, tomorrow, and weeks and months prior, that we may not see the return on our investment or return on our habits tomorrow, a month, or even 3 or even a year from now. But if we think long term, that's not what we're going for. If our goals or aspirations, our visions of where we want, the things we want to accomplish, whether it's a big, small goal or a big goal, we must think long term. We must think that every single thing we do now, today, and we do it consistently through a long period of time, the daily habits that we create now will lead us to the success that we want later on in life. And that's exactly what I want you to take away from this podcast, is what habits are you creating daily that are allowing you to project yourself into the next version of yourself. And not only that, but what habits are you creating every single day and doing consistently that you know will long-term lead you to the results you want. And if anything, take that away from Tom Brady and what he does every single day, because the reason he's still playing at such a high level is because of those reasons, because he knows that every single thing he does now is always in alignment of what the future holds for him. And really, that's kind of what the message. It's super quick. Like I said, I'm recording off my phone and didn't have time for the intro because of my computer being, obviously the computer being broken. But you know what I want to say is, for everyone who listens to this whole podcast, I want to say thank you so much for the few people that have been listening to it, and especially for the newer people that keep coming in, tuning in. I really want you to know that if you truly found value in this podcast today and truly found something of significance, that if it moved you in some certain way, please share this with your friends, family, people that you think will benefit as well. That's the only way that we grow organically, is sharing with people that you think will add value to your lives. And I truly appreciate that, because I know the message that we're trying to spread, again, it's just a daily thing that we're trying to do every single day, a habit of spreading a message of not just positivity, but empowerment and encouragement in order for people to achieve the dreams and the lifestyle and the goals that they have. That's what Limitless Lifestyle is all about. And again, that comes down to making sure that you receive value from the message that I speak. And if you find value, please share with someone. That's the only fee I ask for. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I appreciate I appreciate people listening to it, and we will jump on to the next podcast and see if it's still in this format. If not, like I said, thank you so much for listening, and we'll check in for the next one.